staff and students. Today is Friday, January 22nd, and welcome to BMS News.
Good afternoon, Berkshire students, staff, and families. Mr. Clinkscale once again on this Friday, and we are happy to welcome you to our Berkshire News Break. I'll be really quickly because we have an action-packed agenda here with our announcements. Our student broadcasters are back, and we also have a very, very special update from Mr. Babcock, who's given us some inspiration as he's helping us to really think about planning for the future. So I hope you all have a great afternoon and a better weekend, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Here are our announcements, and make sure you're paying attention, especially to that message from Mr. Babcock. Take care.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Jokes with Alex. Okay, as usual, I'm gonna get a sip of water. Okay, why did the teacher have to wear sunglasses? Because her students were so bright. That was it for Jokes with Alex. Bye!
Reminder to all students who have checked out books, please drop your checked out books to the drop-off bin in front of the Media Center when you are done with them. Make sure to check out the Media Center page to check out more books. Bye.
Students, by becoming a tutor for elementary students in reading and basic math skills, you are taking action to make our community a stronger place to learn and grow. Saturday School is looking for responsible and enthusiastic 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students to lead by tutoring. You can be part of this elite group of volunteers by emailing Mr. Stearns for a Zoom link to his Mentors Club that meets on Wednesdays at 11:30. Join the meeting to get more information on mentoring elementary students during Saturday School. Your support is needed, and your help is greatly appreciated. Contact Mr. Stearns for more information.
Did you know that an apple, potato, and an onion all taste the same if you plug your nose? Our taste is 80% made up of our sense of smell. If you were to blindfold yourself and plug your nose, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between these three foods.
Students, the food drive for Lighthouse will be extended one more week. Last Wednesday, NJHS met with the organizer, and he told us some statistics about the organization. He said that last year they were serving 600 homes per month, and now they're serving 1,000 homes per week. So we will extend the drive until Friday, the 29th, to help the Lighthouse organization. There are bins inside the school by the office to donate. Thank you for your help.
Hey everyone, it's Mr. Babcock. It's been a while since I've been able to do a character quote for the announcements, and I want to take the time today to put one out for this Friday's announcements because after having a lot of conversations with those of you that have been back in person and really looking at how people are performing this year compared to last year, I feel like I need to give a message out there for how to go after virtual learning in school in general. But the real focus is on virtual learning, since we will all be living in it for the foreseeable future. The quote's a great one. It's one of my favorites. It was shared by my mentor, who taught me a lot of what I know about teaching, and it's something I've used with kids since the day he told it to me. It's from Muhammad Ali, the guy standing up here in the picture, one of my favorite athletes of all time, known as the greatest of all time, the original GOAT. People to this day still bring up Ali in terms of somebody who was at the top of their craft, perfected what they did. And I think it's really important for all of us to hear this message and this quote that he has, because I think it really applies to school and the attitude that we need to have towards our education, and especially when things get tough, and we know how tough it is for kids out there in our virtual world. So his quote says, "I hated every minute of training, but told myself, suffer now and spend the rest of your life as a champion." When you think about that quote, really what Ali is saying is, doing the work is hard. It's not easy. In order to be great at anything, you got to push yourself. You got to train hard. You got to make yourself suffer. Things are not easy. Anything that's worth anything is hard to get. And it's all about perseverance, about pushing yourself, about not giving up, about realizing that there is light at the end of the tunnel, that you're working towards something. School is not about you just coming here to hang out with your friends, to have something to do, to occupy your time. It's about preparing you and putting you in a situation to where you can have the opportunities to get what you want to get, to be able to choose what happens to you. That's the beauty behind school. It's not about getting the grades or meeting the mark or getting the credit. It's about putting yourself in a situation to where you have the choice, the opportunity to choose your path in life, where you end up. The better you do in school, the more choice you have in the outcomes that happen to you. Now, why I thought about this quote for today is because thinking about virtual learning and tracking our data, it seems to me that that's where most of our lack of success is happening. And I understand why. It's not easy. It's hard. It's not natural. And just like Ali's saying, you probably hate it. And I understand that. But really what we all need to do, and my message to all of you, is that sometimes we need to swallow our pride, not give in to temptation, not to go on our phone when we're logged into Zoom or to play video games or to walk away and think that somehow because we're just have our name and an icon on Zoom, that somehow that's being in school. Because really what's happening is you're doing yourself an injustice. I feel really upset a lot of times because students all the times apologize to their teachers, to people in the office, even to their parents about not following through on their responsibilities in school. And it just drives me crazy because who are you apologizing to? The apology should be to yourself. I think a lot of times those of us that are not doing what we need to do, not following through, not doing what's right, is because we don't have a plan. We don't have a vision for ourselves. We don't see ourselves in the future and what we can make ourselves into. We don't have a dream. Ali in this quote is talking about how he hated every minute of training, but told himself, suffer now and live the rest of your life as the greatest of all time. He had a plan. He had a vision. He knew what he wanted. When you know what you want and you know what you want to be, it's a lot easier to go through the things that you don't like. And the more I hear about the issues going on with virtual learning and how kids at home are very reluctant to engage, I think for most people, it's because of one of two things. Either connected to this quote, they don't have their vision of something, they don't know what they are trying to become, or because they're just very easy for them just to give in to temptation. And those two things go with each other. What we need to make sure that we all do is look out for what we want to be, what we want to do. And that's about you. It's about your future. Realize that everything adds up throughout your education. You are building towards something. There is a future where you're going to have an outcome. And we need to make sure that we take control of what we can control. And that's how we go at our learning. That's how we go at education. And for us in the virtual world, we need to be engaged in class. Have your camera on. Ask a question. For Pete's sake, be there to respond to the questions from your teacher. Realize that it's not about your teacher. It's not that they want to feel good about themselves because you're engaged in class, or we want to just be happy to see your face. It's about you. It's about us making sure that you are going to be in a situation that you are proud of in the future, that you want to be in. The last thing we want is for this virtual setting to get kids into a hole in their learning, to where they're stuck in that hole and they have trouble getting out. And the outcomes at the end of high school might not be where they want to be because they were too foolish as a middle school student to realize the value in their education and took the easy way out and got on their phone when they're in Zoom, or played a video game when they're in Zoom, or just left the room. That's the easy way out. When you do that, you're missing the whole point of why we are all here, why we do what we do, and why you should do what you do. It's about you. It's about your future. It's about putting you in that situation to where you are happy and satisfied with your life because you worked for something and hopefully you attained it. Another great picture of Ali here, and I got two more quotes that I want to end this out with. Two great ones. And I think it speaks to those people who don't have a plan for themselves and very easily just try and fool Berkshire, fool your teachers, fool the office that somehow just because you're logged in, that you're learning, that you're participating in class. Those people need to start aiming at something. You need to be prepared. You need to have a plan. Without a plan, without something to look at and see yourself as, it's so easy to make those wrong choices and not the right ones. Or to know that you are going to suffer, in Ali's words, just because you know you're going through something in order to get something more. So 2 more quotes on here that I love. An anonymous quote on the right, which basically, an anonymous quote is, we just don't know who to give credit to. It says, a person who aims at nothing is sure to hit it. I think for a lot of us that are struggling in the virtual world, it's because we're aiming at nothing. We don't have a plan. We don't want something for ourselves. When we don't want something for ourselves, it's so much easier to do nothing because, shoot, that self-gratification in the moment, that in the moment not being in a class that you don't like, or in Ali's words, that you might hate, leads you to be able to do nothing because you don't have that vision for what you want in the future. It's easy to take those easy way outs and not go the extra mile because you're not aiming at something. If you're aiming at nothing, as the quote says, that's what you're about to get. And it's going to leave you that open door, that open window to take the easy way out and not do what you need to do. Whenever you start aiming at something, man, it becomes a lot easier to hit it. Those of you that know in your life right now, you are not aiming at anything. You don't have any aspirations for what you want to do. You don't have any plan. Take aim. Look for something. Give yourself some motivation, something to shoot for. And when you do that, life and your education will have meaning. Suffering through that class that's boring, or that assignment that you don't see a point to, will all of a sudden matter because it's about getting yourself in the situation to where you want to be. Start aiming at something. And the other one's from Ben Franklin, from early American history. He says, those that fail to plan are planning to fail. Think about that. Have you made a plan for yourself? Do you know what you're trying to go get? If you don't, you're probably planning to fail. And I think for a lot of us, that's what's going on. We don't really have an idea of what we want to do with ourselves. And because we don't, we're not willing to do the things that are placed in front of us because we don't see the point. Realize this is all about the greater you down the road, you for you, not you for me, not you for anybody else. Okay, it's about you. It's about your future. What I'm looking forward to is all of us taking a few steps forward here as we move through the rest of this year, realizing that just like Ali says, you might hate every minute of the training that we're giving you. But hopefully you look down the road and you see yourself as a champion and you realize, suffer now and later I'm going to get there. I'm going to get to where I want to be because I took the time, the effort, and I had the integrity and the grit to do what I had to do to eventually be able to do what I want to do. I hope everyone's having a great day. Again, I love my Berkshire people. Have a great day, everybody. Have a great weekend. Let's go get it. Let's get the rest of this year. Take care of business and start aiming for something. I'll talk to you all later. Take care.
That's it for Friday's BMS News. Thanks for joining us. Have a great weekend.